Role-playing games had an impressive lineup available on PlayStation 5. Though there were some fantastic games available at launch, there will be more in the coming months. And guess what? They'll give you a tough play. Here's our top 15 picks for the greatest new action PlayStation 5 RPGs that you can play in 2023. 15. Lords of the Fallen 2. This action role-playing game takes place in an epic medieval fantasy world where a fallen god governs with an iron fist. It's the sequel to the first Lords of the Fallen game. In order to expand on the success of the last game, the new one will employ dark fantasy in both its visual design and its narrative. The game will also employ a redesigned and more difficult combat system, which may see the game stick to the original title's Souls-like style. It's possible that Lords of the Fallen 2 may be a fantastic treat for lovers of the severe difficulty levels when it debuts, given the success of games like Elden Ring after deciding to adopt this type of gameplay. 14. Forspoken. In this game, you'll take on the role of a teenage New Yorker who is abruptly transported to a different realm. That would be terrible enough, but she also needs to stay clear from the monsters and mythical dangers that inhabit this dimension. Fortunately for her, she now possesses her own magical abilities. Players will use them to go through this fantastical world and discover how to get back home while also learning what led them there in the first place. Number 13. Wulong Fallen Dynasty. With the help of some incredible terrifying demons, this action role-playing game lets you develop from a warrior into a hero. This game will feature a militia soldier who must battle his way through a later Han dynasty that is teeming with demons in an alternate history of the Three Kingdoms period of Chinese history. You must use your sword fighting skills to live while being pursued by both soldiers and boss-level demons. Chinese martial arts are the foundation of the sword methods, and as you vanquish each foe, your inner strength grows. Number 12. Lies of P. Lies of P is an action Souls-like game set in a grim, ominous, Belle-Epoque world and was inspired by the well-known Pinocchio story. In a once beautiful city that is now devolved into a hellish wasteland full of horrific evils, all of humanity is lost. You'll take on the role of the puppet mechanoid Pinocchio and battle your way through every obstacle in your way to discover this enigmatic figure. You're on a quest to both become human and locate the enigmatic figure known as Mr. Geppetto. In a unique twist, you'll need a lie to survive the game's intricate and difficult battle system. With its exquisite setting, intense combat, and compelling narrative, Lies of P presents a world full of tension. Number 11. Atomic Heart. This game will have a player transported to a 1955 alternate reality. The Soviet Union is thriving in modern society as technology advances. An investigation into a facility that has gone silent is being conducted by players as P3. A psychologically ill KGB agent. Now that they have entered the wilderness, the players will seek there for information. It'll be difficult to maintain control of the area because it's populated by hostile robots and other adversaries. As players advance through the game, they'll be able to create a wide variety of weapons and customizations, which the creators have also shown off in great detail. Number 10. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. This game will have a portal to the afterlife that has been opened. And as a result, a god's army is now attempting to conquer the world and exterminate humanity in a single powerful blow. You take control of a member of the resistance who joins forces with an unexplainably strong creature. Your duty is to repel the army of the dead and chastise the gods for believing they could dominate your world. You'll need to deploy a range of weaponry in this challenging game to prevail. Number 9. Black Myth: Wukong. The 16th century Chinese tale called Journey to the West served as the basis for this RPG. The narrative of the Monkey King, a famous mythical entity who appears in this novel, is followed throughout the game. This supernaturally gifted monkey rebelled against heaven and was imprisoned by Buddha beneath a mountain. He aids the novel's protagonist in his journey from China to India in the West some 500 years later. The main character of this game is eerily similar to the Monkey King, but has more strength. This mythical monkey, known in the game as the Destined One, is a formidable combatant with the ability to transform into flying insects or a huge monster. Number 8. Path of Exile 2. Path of Exile 2 will have a variety of new material as an action RPG, including all new weapons, a revamped and newly designed skill gem system, and a number of new ascendancy classes that players can select from. A 7-act narrative will be present in the game, serving as a sort of sequel to the first act. With a graphic upgrade and exhilarating new gameplay concepts and components, Path of Exile 2 appears to be remaking the original game and giving a beloved action RPG new life. Number 7. Like a Dragon: Ishin. Widespread inequity plagues Kyo, and one samurai's quest for justice will alter the path of history. Take up the sword of Sakamoto Ryoma and go to Kyoto to hunt your father's killer, clear yourself of a framed murder, and regain your dignity. You'll end the samurai era and alter Japan's future in the process. You can select from 4 different hack-and-slash game types in the 1860s set game. You can use a special blade to literally slice the opposition in half if you're a pure swordsman. Alternately, you may be a modern fighter and use a gun to blow adversaries away. Number 6. Hogwarts Legacy. A new video game is coming out for Harry Potter enthusiasts to play. In reality, the events in Hogwarts Legacy occur much earlier than those in the well-known books and films. Instead, we find ourselves in the position of a recently admitted student to the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You can study spells, tame fantastical creatures, and explore the school and its surroundings. Along your quest, you'll encounter many enemies to defeat in the interim. Ranrock, the Goblin Rebellion's leader, and Victor Rookwood, the head of the group of Dark Wizards, are both present. Number 5. Granblue Fantasy Relink. In Granblue Fantasy Relink, you can choose to play as the main character, who is either male or female, and you'll set out on an adventure that will take you to various locations and challenge you to battle grotesque foes. You won't be fighting by yourself. A group of characters will be at your disposal, and you can work with them to fight the world's horrors. The series advances significantly by reimagining the previous 2D artwork in 3D so that you may experience the world in much more depth. Number 4. Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes. The game is set on the continent of Alran, home to several civilizations and cultures. One of these countries manages to surpass the competition and unearth a potent technology that enhances magic. Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes' main focus, as with most JRPGs, is the narrative. Along with a large world to explore, the game features both lively cities and eerie caves. Turn-based combat for teams of 6 is available, and the game's AI contains a number of commands that let you change how each hero fights. Number 3. Stray Blade. Action role-playing game Stray Blade features tough battles and a ton of exploring. You take on the role of an explorer who discovered Acria, the Lost Valley, an enigmatic location that possesses, according to legend, a variety of powers. But sadly, you pass away just as you discovered this miraculous paradise. You come back to life after some time has passed, and it's now up to you and your new loyal friend, a Shinan wolf named Boji, to unravel the mysteries of the Valley of Acria. You also need to battle a variety of foes, spend points on your talent tree, and bring peace to this conflicted region. You'll also be exploring the valley and solving its mysteries. Number 2. Final Fantasy XVI. Final Fantasy XVI so far appears to be both larger and more somber than any of the others in the Final Fantasy series. You'll be in the world of the title, which is kept in the air by a collection of crystals that are governed by 6 separate factions. It'll only end in catastrophe when things start to go wrong and demons are called to the land. A catastrophe that will motivate Clive Rosefield to carry out a mission of vengeance in order to stop what is happening. Number 1. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Several of the games on the Final Fantasy list could have occupied the top slot, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is enormously anticipated. Rebirth will carry on the rewritten and improved plot of Final Fantasy VII, but this time we'll finally be outside of Midgard and getting to explore the enormous continent. Due to its graphic requirements, the beautiful game will initially only be available on PlayStation 5. You can absolutely anticipate Rebirth to be just as fantastic given how strong the gameplay was in Remake.